Ali, hello.
Hi guys.
How are you? Today we go to Manu Buffara, guys, in Brazil.
Yes, we're again in Brazil as we were there last week.
Manu Buffara.
And yeah, Christian is trying to connect Manu right now. I tell you something more about her. So she has been raised in a farm where she has learned how to appreciate the land and animals. In 2011, she opened her restaurant Curitiba. And over the last few years, she has been involved in many projects. She has focused on building urban gardens in Curitiba. She has also called it an effort to install over 4,000 bee hives, and she really focuses on sustainability and nature. Okay.
Okay. Go live with
We are going
Manu
live with-
Buffara. Yes, we know.
Okay, we're waiting for Manu.
Waiting for Manu.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you.
So you just got home from your farm?
Yeah, so we are locked down, we are at home, but the farm we use it is like 3 minutes from my house, and we still help them because they need to sell, you know. So tomorrow it's the day we are cooking for the homeless. So we don't want to they give to us, so we buy it, you know, for they can, you know, still doing and still getting money, you know. So we are buying from them for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, like a big amount. So whatever they have, we are getting for we can cook our boxes for the homeless people.
Great.
Oh, that's great. And how many boxes do you usually do?
So we do in my house 250 on Tuesday and 250 on the Friday. And a friend of mine, we are in the same group, like a Woman for Good. And so she does in her home 250. And so in a week we do 1,000.
Wow, so really a huge number. Exactly. That's great.
It's kind of like hard
really
cooking at home, but we are figuring out, and I have the kids to help. So.
Oh yeah, because you have your daughters with you there. Oh, so great assistance.
The kids are helping, and my husband is helping too. Like it's fine because he's helping, like to do the vegetables or sometimes the meat. He's like doing barbecue for the meat, and it's fun. It's fun. It's fun, like when everyone is together to do something good, you know, and you see you are doing good, you know. So it's amazing when you can do that.
Nice. You are making a great job for sure.
Yeah,
and the people.
Yeah, and you know, like before we start the program before the COVID, so it's like an institute. It's not an institute, but it's like I start this in December. So we cook just once in a week on Monday. So now we are doing like much more. So it's nice, like when you see like how food can change the city, how we can help, you know.
That's really nice.
Really nice. Okay, your origin is Italian.
Yeah.
We read something that you have some roots, grandmother from Italy.
Yeah, so
you are for sure a great chef.
So my grandmother is from Lucca in Italy. So
Toscana.
Yeah. So she came to Brazil during the Second War, with her parents, and she met my grandfather, who is from Lebanon, from Beirut.
So, so you're kind of really nice mixture.
My family, that's why, like, they love food, they love parties, they love like you know, cooking, and for them it's really important the hands. My grandfather always tell me, like, you can know a man when you see how they eat. Like if you have some man who left over food in the plate, it's not good man to eat, to marry it, because he doesn't think about the product, the producer, and it's not ambitious people. So
that's really nice. And do you take something exactly from Italy or from Lebanon in your cuisine, or you're more focused on Brazilian products and cuisine and everything?
Yeah, I use a lot of products from my hometown and my state and around here. So Curitiba is like we are in a really nice place because we are like 30-40 minutes from the sea, and like 40 minutes from the land, you know, from the mountains. So we have both here. And so I'm so glad I'm from here because we have a lot of ingredients, and of course some techniques like I learned with my grandmother, my grandfather, how to you know, how to do the fermented milk, how you can do, you know, fermented cheese, how, you know, the techniques. They teach me a lot, and not just techniques. Like my grandmother always tell me like how important is your hand, you know, for you can touch vegetables, for you can, you know, we can see if the bread is good, you know. So they teach me more values than, you know, than recipes, you know. So
yeah,
I think that's more important to you for your life, and, you know, for you can create something and develop a perspective of life and food, you know.
Good food make happy always.
Yeah, that's for sure. It makes people
I am
happy.
also from Italy.
Yeah,
I
so
love Italian food, but I love also Brazilian food a lot. I love Brazilian people are really happy. It's always really a big pleasure to talk with you. Last talk with Brazil,
we had last week with Alex Atala.
Alex Atala.
So yeah,
I saw
he's really great.
The big maestro of Brazilian gastronomy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And exactly what Brazilian cuisine means to you. So, I mean, what kind of products, what kind of dishes you have in mind when you think about Brazil?
I think like we always want like when you talk about Brazilian cuisine, it's a lot of flavor. We think a lot of cassava, manioc, corn. I think that's the main ingredients for us, you know, like the native honey, the stingly bees. It's really Brazilian, you know, because if we talk about the bees, like the European bees and the African bees was bring from the Portuguese, and then our bees was lost, you know, and the Portuguese bring the bees because they need the wax for the Catholic Church, because our bees produce like black candles, and they don't want, you know, for the Catholic Church, they wanted the white ones. So I think it's really, Brazil have a lot of history about food, about ingredients. And when you think about that, you think about plates, sharing, and cooking together. And I think now with the COVID, we are having this families cooking together, Brazilian cuisine again, you know, like when we cook like a feijoada, or when we do like the fish stew with like coconut milk and, you know, vegetables and the fish, the shrimp. And I think this is really important, like the botarga. It's something from South Brazil. Yeah. So Italy.
Botarga from South Brazil.
Yeah, because, you know, we are the big important of the fresh botarga. So Italy, Taiwan, China, they buy from us. We are one of the huge producing the world for the fresh one. And we start to do, as the same in Italy, we start to cook the botarga here. So we use it a lot, and then no one knows. And how important is we can share that, you know, like do the pasta or fresh gnocchi. So for, you know, and then, so now people are understand what is mean Brazilian food. And each state in Brazil, we have different types of food. So Brazil is not like a place you can say, what the food, Brazilian food means for you. Like in South Brazil, of course we eat feijoada, but not too much. We eat more like for us it's like more open fire, you know, like barbecue open fire, or more fish, like barbecue fishing, and you know it's different than
please not now. We are also in lockdown.
We cannot do exactly a barbecue really right now, so that's hearing this is really painful, I think, especially to Christian.
Just one day we go to the here in Krakow, Poland.
Yeah, because we are in Poland right now.
Was 1 month just sunshine, all the time. One day for the barbecue was raining.
Yeah, we were yesterday. We wanted to go for barbecue, and yesterday it was raining, so it was really painful. And today the sun is again shining, so it was really like
It's like
bad
crazy
luck.
because here it's supposed to be autumn, like and supposed to be
Yeah.
cold, and it's like 28 degrees Celsius, 27. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like because me and my family, we took a decision last year, 1 year ago, to move. So I'm living 1 hour from the restaurant now, and I'm living the countryside. And now I'm really happy I took that decision, 1 year ago, because we live outside of the city, and we have garden, and we can, the kids can go outside. So it's glad we can do like barbecue outside. We can do vegetables. We can grill vegetables, and it's nice now.
You are
very nice.
You are lucky. You are lucky because we are close in one apartment.
Yes, in the
but
city
we have
center,
2 dogs,
so,
small dogs.
Yeah.
So at least we can go outside with dogs. So that's our luck. Yeah. And for the restaurant, what was your inspiration to open the restaurant? Because basically, as I read, your city is relatively small in Brazil, so Curitiba, and more like São Paulo or Rio de Janeiro are most highly considered regarding gastronomy. So it was kind of, I think, very brave decision to open a fine dining restaurant in such a small city, relative in Brazil.
So it was, I'm coming from the north of the state. My father is a farm guy, and then when I moved to Curitiba, well, I was living outside. I was working in Copenhagen and then in the US. And then when I moved here, I started working a hotel business. I was a chef in a hotel. And then I started doing like a lot of meeting a lot of small producers, like milk producers, cheese producers, and vegetables. So I create, today we work with 63 small producers around the city. So when I decided to open the restaurant, I couldn't open in São Paulo because it's like São Paulo, you cannot move your car and then do, okay, I can go in a farm for 15 minutes, and then I'll be back in the restaurant. So 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I'm back in the restaurant. And our cheese, our milk, fresh milk, the producer, I can drive 30 minutes and then be back in 1 hour. Oyster, the native oyster, I can drive like 3 hours and be back. So it's really easy. And I think I choose the city and the city choose me. So I develop, I have a lot of projects in the city, with the mayor and with, not just because the politics, but I always think like you can change the city and the city can change you, you can teach how the city can be sustainable, because now we are not in the time to like, I want to be sustainable, you have to be, after this, we are living now. It's like everyone, even in your home, it's like, today I have, I choose my trash, like I have organic and I have, recycle. And I think that's not going to be, I want to do that. You have to do that. So I think we have to think about the future. And when I choose Curitiba, it's because Curitiba is one of the most sustainable city in Brazil, and Curitiba is always ahead, so our transportation, it's energy transportation, like solar energy transportation. Not 100%, but 30% of the transportation is like that. And we always thinking about people, about homeless, and about food. We have like the urban garden, so today we have like 5,000 families have their own garden. So they can plant organic vegetables, so can they can eat better. So I think the city, it's really, really great on that business. So for me, it's like I cannot see Manu in other place, I cannot see Manu in São Paulo or in Rio. I can only see Manu here, because the people who makes Manu, we have a lot of faces. even like the people who work for us, most of the kitchen, 50% of the kitchen is with me since I opened 8 years ago. Even our dishwasher is with us like 7 years now, and our manager, our financial manager. So I think it's more as a family, and as our producer, like our fish producer, our oyster, our everyone. And so I think that's why I choose Curitiba, and Curitiba choose me, and I'm from here, my family's from here. So I think it's important when you come, the story of the place, I know the story of the city, and I know when the city starts to caring a lot about food. So that's really nice, and then you can use, I think always you can use your expertise to help the others, and that's why I'm here, because we are choosing, city choose me to help the people who lives here and the small communities who live here.
Yeah.
Okay, now I have one question for you. Which chef changed your vision, culinary vision?
I think
which one influenced more you?
Yeah, I think one of my first chefs I worked was Rene in Copenhagen in 2006. When I asked for an internship over there, and they sent an email, why do you want to come to Copenhagen in the winter time? So I learned a lot there, because it was really small, Noma in that time. And then my first thing I did over there, when they asked me, you have boots? Yes. You have scissor knife? Yes. And they drove me like 1 hour, and they threw me in the garden. They said, we eat onions, wild onions and wild garlics, and we'll be back in 3 hours. It was just so fucking cold. And then I'm like, what I'm doing here? And then, in that time, I understand how important is the place you live, and how important is you develop the place you live, and how important is to know where's your food come from. And so it was really nice. And the second chef who changed my life and my vision and the way I want to cook is Alex. And today we are really good friends. But Alex is like like a Bible, when you talk with him, he knows everything. He knows the scientific name for birds, and he knows everything in Brazil. And then for me, it's like a professor, I always call him when I have some doubts. And then when I have, Alex, do you know this ingredient and that? Because I think he always want to share his expertise and everything he knows with people. And that's really important in a human being. He's a really humility person.
Definitely.
And he's a great human being. And I'm so glad I have him in my side, always helping me, and a great chef, and then amazing person, amazing friend. So
a lot of is a really charismatic man.
Yeah,
for sure. All the people love Alex Atala, really.
Yes.
And he's incredible. Yeah, he's incredible, not just because he understands about food, but he understands a lot about art, about music, and it's a completely person. He's a really, really great person. Yeah.
And exactly, you mentioned that you were at Noma and you traveled a lot. So what did all these trips? Oh, we had some technical problems.
Okay.
What all these trips did give you as a person and as chef? So I mean, what did you learn from all these trips, stages at Noma and different other restaurants?
I think it's really like when you do a lot of internship, a lot of stage, always you take a little bit of the personality of the chef. So I think you need in the beginning, when I opened the restaurant, I have a lot of a lot of things from Noma, a lot of things from La Linea, a lot of things from other place, Da Vittorio or Guido, some place I work in Italy or whatever. So, and then I start to think, so I need to discover who I am, And I think it's really good to travel, but in some point you need to understand who you are and who you want to become, and your goals to cook, why you want to cook, you know. So I always think like I cook to change the weather, I cook to change me, I cook to change the world, to change the future, to change my kids, to change the climate. And but the most important, I cook for myself, you know. I
Bravo.
cook for me. And then that's really important for a chef. You're not cooking for the others, but you're cooking for you, and you know what you want to change. But that's why I discovered for myself, you know. I travel a lot. I know I love to read. I travel to a lot of events and cooking all over the world. But I think the most important to come back home and see your own ingredients or your own producer and know you are cooking for yourself. You know, I love Italian food, but I'm not gonna make the best Italian food. Let the Italian people do, because they know.
Yes,
They
yeah.
know,
No,
they
no,
know
we
how
want
to
the
do like the
Brazilian
best
food from
risotto
you.
and everything. So I think for me, it's like I know how to do Brazilian foods because I come from here. My family's from here, and I studied that. You know, I studied Brazilian cuisine, Brazilian culture. So that's
You have
why,
this in
yeah,
your blood.
yeah.
Yes.
So I have to. I'm cooking Brazilian. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is important, yes, because we have to eat local food.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. If
I
we
think
go somewhere, exactly.
we always talk about global, you know, and now
Mhm.
I think we are thinking more regional, you know. We in the future
Mhm.
we're gonna, you know, people in Europe, you guys already buy like 60% from Europe, you know, like from around. And so I think now
Mhm.
Mhm.
South America, we're gonna do that, you know. We need to have more ingredients from our place. We have to buy from the small producers. So I think that the word in the future will be regional, not globalization or global. So I think that's our goals for the future now.
Yeah, as you said, because I think that exactly right now, no, we are unfortunately not able to travel, but basically exactly is the fun of traveling is that you can go somewhere and try their ingredients, so the local ones, etc. So it's very important to be focused on your own local things, because then exactly you can show your things, your products, and it's your identity to other than when they come to you.
Yeah. Okay. So we were thinking like
Yeah.
Manu,
Okay.
you have also taken
I am back.
like Brazil Italian organization. We are really similar.
So we were like talking maybe like the botarga from here from south, you know. So it's like a caviar from here, you know. And then maybe we can start to eat more botarga from South Brazil than eat like caviar from Russia or from Italy. Maybe we can eat, you know. So we have a lot of things that we can try to discover new ingredients, you know, from Atlantic forests. Use more ingredients from Amazon. We use more oils from Brazil, more nuts from here, you know. So that's maybe not just the restaurant, but maybe like people, you know, when you go in the supermarket, try to buy from the smallers, not the bigger ones, you know, because the biggest always
Yeah.
will survive, you know, but the smallers,
Mhm.
it's
Especially, I
hard.
think
Yeah.
right now it would be very important. Although I think it could be a kind of positive effect of the situation right now, that we will be more concentrated in future on our local producers, because it won't be at least right now it's not that possible to bring products from other countries, because we know that transport, import, and export is also a bit affected by COVID. So maybe it's exactly right a time right now to rediscover your local suppliers, to rediscover your local products, etc.
Yeah, and then you have to know how, like, if you want to change recipes, you know, like use more, like look for your side, the people near you, you know. Even when you go in the supermarket, I know have a small store near you, you know, small owners like have a small supermarket or a small butchery where you can buy your meat, you know. So I think we have to think more intelligent in the future, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I saw that you had yesterday the online dinners.
Yeah.
Regarding the current
And it
situation,
was
Really
like
nice, huh?
it was.
crazy because we want to sell just around 200, 200 menus, and then it was like more than that. It was
Wow.
like crazy. And so we create recipes by online. We did a FaceTime,
Mm-hmm.
and then we did like a vegetarian menu and a normal menu. So we Joris explained to me how was his boxes, and how was his delivery.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing because he's delivering like tasting menus, when people can pour their own
Yeah,
food.
we
Like,
saw
It's amazing.
exactly.
kind of
That
crazy.
is really crazy,
And
and with
then
numbers too.
I did like three dishes, and he did 3 dishes for the 6 course, and then we used 2 dishes of mine in the 4 course and 2 dishes of him in the 2 courses, and then 4 courses. And it was incredible because we sell like more than 250 tasting
Wow.
menu. You believe it? It was insane. Yeah.
It's a
It's
long
really,
Yeah. I
But
told
your
him
race is
we need
really
to do,
strong, eh?
and then it's really nice because we know each other, So when he plated the
Mhm.
food, I didn't send him picture, I just send recipes like, okay, you do the cauliflower, you smoke the cauliflower, blah, blah, blah. And then I didn't told him like how plating the food. And then he sent me a picture and said, it's good for us. Said, it's so crazy because we know each other and then we know the food. And he plated the
Yeah.
exactly way I plated here. So this was incredible. It was just really
Sì, sì, sì.
The perfect match with Joris, exactly.
It's a really, really good guy, yeah?
Yeah,
Good
it's
chef
very,
and very, very intelligent.
yeah, it's very intelligent person,
Yeah.
exactly.
No, we have a great
Because
time
it
after.
was planned your event
Yeah,
in
exactly.
Amsterdam, or not?
You were supposed
The
to come
foreign-
to Amsterdam for his
I
dinner.
went to, so we did was
Or
in
you-
I did the dinner in Amsterdam. So it was like Saturday lunch and dinner
Mhm.
and Sunday lunch and dinner. So we did Saturday lunch and dinner, and then we did Sunday lunch. And then 5 o'clock in the afternoon, the president, the minister, go online and said, close down all the restaurants and the bars. So we had the whole mise en place. We are like starting, set up, for the dinner, and then they close everything down. So and then we flew back home, and then I was 14 days in the quarantine for myself, without the kids and my husband, and with my assistants. But and then Joris have this idea. Let's do online dinner, for our lunch dinner on Sunday, because we didn't complete them. So we decided to do last night, and then it was really nice.
Really nice
Really?
idea.
Yeah.
Really nice idea.
Good idea. And then it was like you gave more like products, or it was already on plates?
So I give him like the recipes, and then in the live yesterday he was teaching how people can plate at home.
Okay.
So I think he does like this. So you call before and you order, and then he deliver everything on 7 together. 200 meals go to the people's home at 7. So we went online at 7 to teach them how to plate in their own plates, or if they want to eat in the plates, the paper plates, whatever, So that's something like this.
Great idea, because then at the end it's also fun for people that they can feel as chefs at home. So doing,
they can put the tablecloth, they can put the plates, and they can plate, and they have the meats, So it's really nice. I love the idea. I was thinking like maybe because we are close, but in June we have to come back. Even we're not gonna open the restaurant in June, but maybe we're gonna start the delivery. So I was telling him yesterday on the live, like maybe I'm gonna do the same as you. It's really nice, and then you can do like. For me, I can do like maybe 3 courses or 6 courses, something like that, and then it's nice. And then people order before. You're not waiting if people call, You order before, and then they order. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's really great idea, exactly. Especially right now for a restaurant, is a great idea, I think, to do something like this, because
the people
we need
love
to.
it. Love it, absolutely.
Because
now many chefs are working.
When you're cooking at home, so you have to cook at home, and then you have cleaning, and then you have all so it's not easy, because I'm cooking like 3 meals every day, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the kids and for my husband. It's fun, but always when you finish, you clean, and then you start again, So sometimes I wake up in the kitchen and I finish my day in the kitchen and said, wow, what I'm doing, So it's really nice, because you reconnect. So the kid said, we are cooking today, and said, yes, we're good. So sometimes it's kind of like boring for them, you know. So it's nice when you order delivery, because said, oh, today I'm just enjoying, you know.
Yeah. It's like a celebration and not a regular evening. You can feel a bit, you cannot go to a restaurant right now, so at least you can do this kind of celebration to feel like the restaurant. But on the other hand, exactly, you have also this that you can play, be a chef or something, so it's double fun, I think, even.
Yeah, so definitely. It's the same here. Like, so last night I told my husband, you're gonna cook tonight, we want a burgers, you know, just do burgers, because you know, you don't make anything dirty. So we fire the barbecue, and then we put the burgers, bread, and then, you know, it was fine and easy. So yeah, sometimes it's good.
And do you let your husband very often cook at home, or is you that is the chef at home more?
He does barbecue. He's really good on barbecues, you know. Like, he loves like barbecue meat, fish, whatever. But he's not so good in the kitchen. Well, he's a lawyer, so when he cooks, he always
maybe it's good. I don't want to show you.
Yeah, sometimes he want to cook, but he put like all the mise en place for I can do, you know, like cut onions, the garlic. So he just mix on the pots, you know. So it's not
okay. That's really nice. Yeah, but barbecue is also a very important thing. So
absolutely.
Especially with the nice weather, is perfect. So everyone has its own responsibilities and its own part in the kitchen. So that's great also.
Without a lockdown.
Yeah.
Of course.
Exactly.
Okay, another question.
Another serious one, or maybe a bit easier one, because serious one, you know, are more about the lockdown and COVID situation. I don't know which one would you prefer, Manu, if you want to do
whatever you want. I'm ready to answer. So you choose.
No serious, like.
Not serious. So it's I don't know, because mine are always very serious. Mine question I'm more the serious part of the.
She is the serious part. I am the more funny part, but my English is really not perfect. I have
no worries.
It's fine, so
but I can talk of Italian if you want. It's no problem.
Yeah, so I would do the serious part, because exactly you mentioned that in Curitiba, in your city, it's very important, sustainability and all these things that we should be careful with nature and everything. How do you implement these things in your daily life of the restaurant? So I mean, what kind of tips do you use to be sustainable, to be exactly to produce less waste, etc., etc.?
So we try to like so we try to use everything from you know, the whole things, you know, when you the trash, it's really important, like because sometimes you don't know how to do it. So it's a simple thing, like recycle. So you have a box of milk in the restaurant, we cut, because this is gonna make bigger the trash, you know. So you can put like 10 boxes. If you cut, it's gonna be like smaller, you know. So you can use more, and then you don't use the plastic bag, because trash, the recycle is still in a plastic bag. And sometimes you think you're not making difference, but you are, you know. So this is a small tip. And the other thing, like when you use a vegetable, sometimes people ask, so we go in the garden. And sometimes in the garden, Manu, you're going to use the broccoli and everything from the broccoli. I said, okay, bring to us, we do a salad, or we do like a farofa or something, or sometimes no. So when you say no, I always ask, you have, you do compost, you know, because if they don't do compost, it's going to make trash. If they do compost,
exactly.
Okay,
and
know?
Then
so I always like we don't use garlic at home because we have leeks. So the leaves of the leeks, you know, the top, we use as garlic, you know. So you have to be creative. So you have to understand food, and everything is eatable, you know, like when you have like the radish leaves, you know, stuff like that. So like here, it's really hard to us the glass, you know, because our states don't recycle glass. So we try to, we have this girl from ceramic she takes our glass and then she do like a plates with ceramic or vases or whatever. So we try to find a ways to be sustainable and to help the others, you know. And then it's really important you to teach the people who work with you, you know, like everyone have to understand what is recycled, what is organic, what is middle organic, you know, like non-organic we call here, you know, and what you can do as compost, what is not compost. So this is like a teaching class, you know, so everyone have to understand,
definitely,
you know,
because I think exactly that's the problem, that sometimes people, it's not that they doesn't want to do something, but they don't know how to do. Exactly, that's
it's
the
like
problem.
when you want to help but they don't know how to help, you know, and that's really important. Like sometimes I always tell friends of mine, we want to help this community, and now Easter we're gonna give them chocolate, but maybe they don't want chocolate, they are hungry, they need rice, they need beans, you know, they don't want a chocolate, the kids don't want a chocolate, the kids want to eat, they want to have more vitamins in their table, you know, they need more proteins in their table, like vegetable proteins or meat proteins, whatever. So I think it's inform and education. Information and education is the best part, is the best thing you can do for the people near you, for the community near you, or, you know, even the people in your own house. You know, I always tell the kids here, put in your plates the things you're gonna eat. You know, if you're not gonna eat, don't put food in your plate. You know, we don't, you know,
because
not
then
waste.
You will throw it.
So waste, it's something we have to take care in the future. You know, that's really important. Sorry about that. So I think in the future, waste is not something we're gonna have anymore. So we have to do and eat everything we produce, you know, like here in the home we are four. Sometimes I do like a cake, you know, like a banana cake, and then we not eat all. So I cut really thin and then I put in the oven and I do cake toasts, and then you can put cheese, and then you have to think something you can do, you know, like
it's like creativity. You need to, exactly.
It's like yesterday, like we were like doing bacon in the breakfast, and then I saved the fat, and then my husband, what are you gonna do the fat? I said, oh, I'm gonna do popcorn in the afternoon, you know, imagine the popcorn with the bacon fat. So, you know, it's small something you can be creative in your home, you know. I'm gonna put my cell phone to charge because I have 20%.
No worries.
Don't worry.
No worries. We have one question from the audience, so from one of our followers, so we can right now, we can read the question.
What is?
Yeah, you have here.
How do you
think? Wait a minute. Oh no, some technical problems. I think the question was here. How do you think we can be better with the nature for the human being?
I think now it's the time nature is asking for us, you know. So the climate change, how we eat, how we can preserve the nature, and how how we need the forest, how we need the water, how we need to eat, and how it's important to take care, you know, to take care small stuffs near us, you know, like how Amazon it's really important to us, how the tree is important. So I think the time you see, like now people, we are not using the car too much. So how the sky is clean. Sometimes I go outside and I see the sky here. I said, wow, how amazing is that, you know? Because sometimes we cannot even see the star because it's so polluted, you know, so the pollution and everything. This was really hard, you know. You see people was using masks for the pollution, you know. We need to change that. We need to understand, and not just about nature, like how the fabric was producing too much because we are buying too much. So sometimes we go to the supermarket and we are buying food for like a couple months. You see, like this huge supermarket like sell stuffs like in huge package, you know. And so if we buy, the industrials produce more. So more and more and more producing, more pollution we have, you know, in the world. So now it's some time to we understand, we buy this some stuff so we're gonna use it, not like buying as crazy as we are before, you know. So I think now it's time to think.
We have another interesting question. Description of the type of menus and what standards should be followed from writing a menu.
Yeah, so descriptions of the types of menus and standards should be followed for writing a menu. Okay.
What? So like, I kind of like
so I think it is like what kind of how to write a menu, how to create a menu right now, what kind of standards should be followed.
I think we have to understand about the seasoning. That's really important. It's not like oh, I cook with seasoning. Not now you have to. You know, it's not like I'm an organic restaurant. I think everyone have to cook with seasoning products, with no traveling too much. You know, like if you don't have like a sea urchin in your place, so you don't need to travel sea urchin to another place. You know, we have to eat food from the land. You know, from near us. Avoid like the ingredients to travel too much, you know. So I think the menu have to be more smart, more intelligent. You know, you have to think more when you create it. It's not like I want to use a strawberry now. No. The strawberry you're not gonna use now. The strawberry is not the season. You know, we're not gonna go with recipes in the menu. We're gonna go with ingredients in the menu. You know, so first thing you have to take like the list of the ingredients in this time of the year, you know, and then you can use your head and then be smart. I always tell, like, as a chef, we are paying to be creative. You know, that's your job in the restaurant. You know, that's your job.
Definitely.
People when come to Manu, they pay for our experience. They pay for my hat. They pay for my creativity. You know, so I think that's in the future. People will paying for our creativity and you know, what we can do with a simple kale. What you can do with, you know, that's the time now. We have to use a lot of our creativity.
Yeah, definitely. I think right now, especially, and exactly as you mentioned, if we want to be in correspondence to the nature, we need to be creative, because we cannot destroy it, because it's the most important thing, because we are also a great part of this nature. So we need to be very careful and very intelligent and creative on the other hand. So
of course, I agree with you.
We have another question. I love Brazil. People live very close to nature. Is it expensive to open an activity based on farming in Brazil?
It's not expensive, but you know, like all the farmings and all the places, like huge is not in the city, it's outside of the city. And we are not like as European, you know, like Antonia Krugman, a really good friend of mine, have the restaurant like outside of the city, you know, really sustainable in a farm. And like in Aros, people don't have, it's not normal for us to travel, you know, go by night and then have dinner, drive 1 hour and be back 1 hour. You know, like in São Paulo, it's really hard to do that. Like in Curitiba, as where I live, it's like 15 minutes from the city, you know, you can do that. But sometimes it's like, it's not about expensive, but it's about the customers, you know, like maybe if you open just weekends, you know, like Saturday and Sunday, yes. Or if you have something like small hotels or something you can crush, yes. But it's, you know, it's not in our country, you know, like it's not our culture to do that.
Super. Which is your favorite ingredient?
Well,
what do you love?
Difficult questions right now.
I have a lot of ingredients that I love, but for me, I think everything comes from the land. For me, the vegetables is like I have a really huge relationship with them. For me, it's like so important. Like you put the seed and then you wait, you know, for them to grow, and then you take care. and it's like a mommy, you know, like it's a mother food, I don't know, but for me it's like my relationship with the vegetables is really intense, you know, so for me it's one of the ingredients that I love. Now I think all the vegetables, but one of the vegetables I really love is cauliflower and cucumber. I love it. Yeah. I did so much things with the cucumber last year, like for the menu. So it's something ingredients I really like it, and it's really versatile. But I love beets and whatever. I love all the ingredients coming from the land. But
And are you vegetarian, Manu?
no, I eat meat and fish. No,
because I noticed that you speak a lot about vegetables, so that and I saw exactly that you did with Joris some kind of vegetarian menu, exactly. So that's why my question. So you're not a vegetarian?
No. I use a lot of vegetables. It's because I have the farm and the urban garden that I help the city mayor and everything. So that's why the relationship. And then I grow up with that. So I think that's, you know, make me love more and more. But that's it. I'm not vegetarian.
Okay. A barbecue, so although barbecue can be also vegetarian, exactly. Just we need to use our creativity. It's not necessarily meat. So
okay.
Yes.
So we hope to see you in Feist in Amsterdam after Rotterdam. Okay.
Yeah, of course. I think maybe in August or September we are totally back again. So I hope to see you guys, and take care. And keep doing that live because it's so good. I always watch it, and thank you so much to open this time for we can talk about Brazil and about South Brazil.
Thank you. So we love really Brazil, and when it's everything under control back, we need to go there. I was once in Brazil, and definitely I told Christian also that I want to.
Joanna said to me, you don't need to go to Brazil because you will stay in Brazil.
Yeah, exactly. You will stay there because it's
I'm waiting
very
you guys
nice
here, and then when you come, we go around to the gardens and everything. And
yeah, exactly, to the farm garden. We would love to.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
Thank you, Manu.
Thank you, Manu,
for your
time.
family. Thank you for your
time.
time.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye. Ciao.
Hi guys, it's good, Manu, huh?
Yeah, very, very, very intelligent and very nice woman. Really, I am looking forward to eat her dishes, definitely. So thank you guys for being with us, and we want to invite you for tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Stay tuned.
We have just checked. Hello from Peru. I have Gusta from Peru.
Thank you guys for watching
Matteo
us.
Valorani from Italy
us.
for sure. Non si sente. Antonio Lucifero.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye guys. Thank you.
Si sente?